So a lot of communities are actually limiting their sales reps on the number of homes that they can sell monthly. You've got wait lists in some communities where people are 30, 40 deep wanting to be able to buy a home here, and first of the month, sales rep reaches out to everybody and says, okay, I can sell 5 or 6 homes this month. And they randomly draw names out of a hat. There's not really anything random about it. They're picking and choosing because they want to control the growth of that neighborhood.
What's going on, family? This is Greg Foster here with Market Boss Real Estate Group, and in this video I'm keeping it all the way real about what's going on right now in the San Antonio real estate market. Recently I was invited to be a guest contributor for a local home buyer talk radio show with KTSA right here in San Antonio, and I covered everything from what it's taking to get your offer accepted to the challenges that we're seeing right now with new construction, and I've even got some tips that we've used to help more than 100 families win in this market over the last year, even in the midst of all this craziness. So if you're thinking about buying or selling a home anywhere in the San Antonio area in the near future and you're wanting the truth about what to expect out here, then stay tuned because we're getting into it right now.
Greg, I really enjoy your videos.
I appreciate that.
Look, that may sound a little gratuitous, but listen, your voice, right, and the way you talk, very, very easy to listen to. And I was talking to one of my listeners. I'm like, hey, I'm going to have this guy on. He's a YouTuber, and you're going to enjoy listening. We're going to talk about the San Antonio market. So let me introduce you properly. So Greg Foster, he's a team leader of Market Boss Real Estate Group with eXp Realty. Greg, I'm happy to have you here on the show.
I'm excited, man. I'm glad to be here. Let's do it.
So how long you been doing real estate?
So I got started in real estate in the spring of 2009. Matter of fact, last week was 13 years in real estate since originally being licensed. A lot of people would look at 2009 and think that's a crazy time to get in real estate. But, you know, for a good couple of years or so, I just didn't know what a good market looked like. So spent about 5.5 years in New Mexico, moved to San Antonio almost 8 years ago. It'll be 8 years this summer. And just really enjoy helping people buy and sell real estate.
Yeah, and you've got a pretty good sized team going now, right?
We do, yeah. We've got a new agent who's joining the team this week. Matter of fact, he's going to work through onboarding today. So in addition to myself, we've got 5 other agents, a couple of support staff, and we're continuing to grow. We're continuing to help more people.
Awesome. So you're a relocation expert, right? So people that are coming into San Antonio, which we know there's a lot of that. Mm-hmm. So what is going on with the San Antonio housing market right now? I mean, it's hot, right?
It's a little ridiculous. And I tell people, well, I've made videos over a couple of years about how hot this market is. And just when you think you've seen just about everything, you know, things keep changing. It keeps moving for you. So it's really a moving target. Week to week, it's almost like something different's happening. And the pricing is so volatile. The terms that are getting accepted are, for when people write offers, are so volatile that it's really a moving target. And so we stay on top of that with the YouTube channel to kind of keep people in the loop on what's happening.
Yeah, I love that too. And you're putting out videos how often?
I try to do every week, but that's a challenge sometimes.
It is, right? I tell you what'll make it easier is this show. I mean, we do it every week here.
Yeah.
So new home construction.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about the wait times. What are we looking at now?
So that's interesting because I'm actually under contract. We're building a home right now.
Right.
And the interesting thing about that is you can't really know for sure exactly when this house is going to be done. The biggest thing is just finding the inventory. And so we're scratching in the dirt every day trying to find homes that are available for people. But wait times historically in San Antonio have been somewhere around about 6 months.
Right.
A lot of builders right now are quoting 8 to 10. But I've got a couple of clients who've been under contract for just shy and just over a year right now. So it kind of depends. We've been having, you hear the talk about supply chain issues, labor shortages. We're seeing that firsthand here in the San Antonio market. And I'm experiencing that personally with the home that I'm actually building right now. So if you go to contract today, you can probably expect to be in your house anywhere from 9 months to a year.
Okay, and what about a waiting? I heard there's waiting lists.
So that's the wild thing too. What's really interesting with this market is that because of the supply chain challenges and because of the labor shortages, you know, builders are having a tough time keeping up with demand. So a lot of communities are actually limiting their sales reps on the number of homes that they can sell monthly because pricing is so volatile. They can start a home, but they won't put pricing on it until it reaches a certain stage. And so when you couple all that stuff together, you've got wait lists in some communities where people are 30, 40 deep wanting to be able to buy a home here, and first of the month pops up and sales rep reaches out to everybody and says, okay, I can sell 5 or 6 homes this month. And they randomly draw names out of a hat, but it's not really that random. I can tell you firsthand, just talking with sales reps and trying to bring weight to bear and sell for our clients to try to get them a lot. There's not really anything random about it. They're picking and choosing because they want to control the growth of that neighborhood.
And I wonder too, so like, let's say I'm an investor and I'm like, all right, so I know it's going to take me at least 12 months to build a house, right? So I get with a homeowner or a home builder and I say, okay, I want to build this, $500,000 house in this neighborhood that's really growing really fast, and it's going to take me a year, and boom, let's do it. And then when it comes close to that year, well, now I'm going to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually had somebody else build a house for me.
Yep.
And then I'm going to sell it. I'm going to turn it as a profit.
Yeah.
Right. Is any of that going on?
I would say that definitely is. I mean, we've had clients of ours who bought, early, mid 2020, early 2021, who are sitting on a ton of equity now. And they've looked at the scenario of, hey, does it make sense to sell it? And so we'll do market analysis for that. We also have a lot of investor clients too, who specifically want to come and buy into this market. And we don't work with any of those like large clearinghouses in Wall Street that are buying up dozens and dozens of homes. I think our one client that bought the most homes personally, he bought like 5 of them, 3 in one community and 2 in another. And they're usually going with inventory because they can get done faster. But, once that house is finished and you're sitting on, in some cases, $30, $40, maybe $60,000 worth of equity, you got a decision to make. Do you keep that and rent that thing out? I think that really the thing that probably makes the most sense is to maybe hang on to it for at least a year and some change, refinance that, maybe pull some money out and then go buy another one.
Oh, okay. All right. So if somebody's going to be moving to the San Antonio area, what kind of advice would you give them? It's like, hey, these are some, I know managing expectations is a huge part of your job.
Yeah, man. The expectation piece is a huge one. I tell my team that we need to be very real with people, but we can't demoralize people. We need to, get them with the right mindset before they step out here. So managing the expectations is just understanding that pricing is volatile. Like what you're looking at today is going to look a lot different a couple of months, 3 months from now. And so the first step more than anything is just, I would tell people reach out to us. I mean, that's most of what we're doing is relocations right now. But the main thing really is to get in touch with the realtor that you can trust, that has insight into the market, and can really, really give you a heads up on what's happening out here, because it's a wild animal.
So
That's a
like,
good way to describe it.
Maybe one of the things of choosing a neighborhood.
Sure.
So this is maybe they may have their own like, I need to live close to where I work or the school. But what kind of recommendations are you giving folks? Do you find yourself giving more of? Like, is it schools? Is it location as far as parks and what type of?
Yeah. So it's usually what will happen is when they get on a Zoom call with an agent on our team, one of the things we always ask is, what's important to you about where you want to live? And for many people, it's the same stuff. They want to be in a safe neighborhood. They want good schools. We're working with a lot of families. The good thing about San Antonio is even with traffic, I mean, you can get from one side of the city in about 30, 45 minutes
Yeah,
max.
it's true. It's not going to always be that way. But.
No, it's not. And locals hate the traffic, but people moving here from out of state, I mean, this is nothing to them, right? So most people can live just about anywhere and have a decent commute to work. But when we talk about what's important to them, what we find is that most of the people, at least that we've been working with, who are relocating, and it's been well over 100 plus people over the last year, most folks want newer. Most folks want suburbs, and they want good schools. And so we're often recommending the North Side Independent School District, the Northeast Side Independent School District. And when they're wanting something newer, within about 15 years old max, maybe 20 years at the most, they're almost always outside of 1604. So we're talking neighborhoods in far west side, northwest San Antonio, up and down I-10, or the far north side, up and down 281. And that's where most of the relos are happening at this point. Okay.
And what are you seeing happening with prices?
Pricing is an ongoing, interesting topic. A couple years ago when I started this channel, we had some folks who were moving here, and they were just excited to be able to get into something and pay list price. Or we were being very aggressive in offering maybe $10,000 over. But that's, multiplied since then. And homes over the last year and a half have consistently been selling $20,000 over, $30,000, $40,000 over list price. And so, as soon as that happens with 1 or 2 properties, of course, that's the new benchmark, right? And so the next seller wants to list their house even more than that. And so pricing has gone up, I think, somewhere around the neighborhood of about 30% over the last year across San Antonio, New Braunfels, and Boerne. Our median sale price when I was starting the channel a couple years ago was just over $250,000, maybe $265,000, and that's well over $300,000 now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely a good time to own real estate here in the San Antonio area.
It is, until you have to pay those property taxes.
Right. Right. Whole other ballgame. So, Greg, if folks want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Well, a few different ways. You can check out our YouTube channel, San Antonio, Texas Living. We're covering all of the metro area, San Antonio, Bernie, New Braunfels. We do videos on the lifestyle in San Antonio, the neighborhoods. We do property tours. We feature home builders. And I talk about general real estate topics that are really pertinent in real time to what's going on in this market. So you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram at San Antonio Market Boss, or you could reach us at 210-510-9444. And, of course, if you just want to start your property search and kind of get a feel for what's out there and not the infotainment that you're going to find on Zillow, Realtor.com, and Trulia, okay? This is like the real stuff, like what's really out there and available. You can check out our website, mymarketboss.com.
Awesome. Love it. All right. So as we wrap up the show, a quick reminder to check out our latest podcast on all the usual podcast platforms. And you can watch video versions of the show at homebuyertalkradio.com. So that's going to be it for us for this week. You guys have a good one. We'll see you next time.
You too.
I appreciate
Thank
you.
you.